Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
All righty. Good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins, here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision, eye care, and a nutritionally related topic. So this is a live call-in show. Give us a call at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. And learn more what we have to offer at Fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, Fortifeye.com. And word has it, this is the longest running medical syndicated live talk show in the country right now. We started April of 1993. Folks, that's over 33 years, I think, if my math is correct. Also, my co-host today is Dr. Susan Summerton, and she is also a doctor at the Lange Eye Institute and advisory board member and staff guru for Fortifeye Vitamins. She helps in the development of all these new supplements that we're in the process of developing always. And I do want to let everybody know the new Fortifeye Fit Meal, which I'm holding up right now, and chocolate and vanilla. You see, I actually have them. Of course, I get them before you guys. The Fortifeye Fit Meal is actually in Tampa Bay now, sitting in an air-conditioned warehouse ready to be distributed to our Fortifeye distribution center on Monday. So we will fill all the orders on Monday. All of you that have been waiting for Fortifeye Fit Meal, we will fill them on Monday. You can order them now. You will get them. And I got to tell you, I've been on this since Monday. It works. And I'm going to tell you why I know in just a second. But first, I want to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Susan Summerton. Good morning, Dr. Summerton. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Lange, and good morning to all our listeners out there. We're very excited for today's show and what you mentioned, that Fortifeye Fit Meal, because what it is a meal. It's not just a protein shake. You can actually replace your meal with it. That's going to lower those calories. You're going to get your fiber in there. It's going to be low sugar, low glycemic index. It's going to have all those nutrients that help with your fat metabolism, those antioxidants, the plant extracts. You're eating those good plant foods. You're going to have recovery support in there. You're going to have the vitamins in there. And we're just super excited about this coming out.
And, you know, we put a lot of science into developing this. It is the only functional doctor-developed meal replacement on the market that actually has 4 fat burners that will not stimulate your heart to race, special extracts, and organic fruits and vegetables, all sourced from non-Chinese sources. If you go to our website at Fortifeye.com, go to Fit Meal, scroll to the very bottom of the page, we'll even show you, this is how transparent we are. We'll show you exactly where our kale came from, our blueberries came from, our pomegranates. We'll show you where our broccoli sprouts came from. And most of these are America, but some other sources, we get some distant sources, but none of it comes from China. I mean, we're the first to take this stance right now, and there's reasons for that, and we're not going to get into that right now. So Fortifeye Fit Meal is available, but remember, we took all this science into consideration when we developed this. And some of this is based on a lot of research that's actually out there. Dr. Summerton. I'm going to let you expand on it now because there is new science that suggests that adding animal protein will actually make you live longer. Basically, a complete vegan diet is not as good as we used to think. Now, we do need lots of fruits and vegetables, but we got to have animal proteins. And by the same token, a complete carnivore diet is probably not ideal either because the fruits and vegetables have lots of micronutrients and vitamins and minerals that we need to extend our lives. And let's face it, we all want to live as long as we can, as long as we're healthy, correct? So, Dr. Summerton, would you expand on the whole concept between not doing complete veganism?
Right. The plant-based diets have been kind of popular in that mainstream lately. But when we look at it, what are we looking at it, comparing it to? Yes, the plant-based diets are much, much better than processed junk food diets that have animal protein in them. But when you compare it to what they did in a new study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, where it was a balanced diet with meat and vegetables, it was based on kind of a diet with fish, even eggs, pork, seafood, all that with the fruits and vegetables in it, they are much more likely to reach 100 years old. And they were comparing that for longevity, how long you live. And it's going back to that just balanced diet. You need your protein, you need your fruits and vegetables, you need that balance in your diet. If it's strictly vegan, yes, it can be healthier. It's a lot healthier than eating the processed junk foods. But we need some of those nutritions that plants don't contain, or they have poorly absorbable forms like your B12, iron, bioavailable zinc, that EPA and DHA that we talk about all the time from omega-3 fish oil. And those are some just essential nutrients that we as humans need to optimize our life.
And, back in the day, we also had diets that were low-fat diets, if you recall. And that wasn't too long ago. Everybody was looking at the fat content. Now, fat can be bad if it's from the wrong source, especially pro-inflammatory, omega-6 saturated fats. And that's in the typical SAD diet, the standard American diet. And that's where the vegan diet, shines above this typical SAD diet that Americans are eating. But good fats from grass-fed beef, grass-fed bison, wild Alaskan salmon, avocados, olive oils. Good fats are extremely beneficial, and there are plenty of studies now that link these fats to additionally getting absorption, especially of the fat-soluble vitamins, the vitamin A, the vitamin K, the vitamin D, the vitamin E, and then the carotenoids that are crucial for brain health and retinal health, things like lutein, zeaxanthin, mesozeaxanthin, astaxanthin. So we do need these fats. So you don't want to be one of the worst diets is a low-fat, low-carb diet where you don't have any carbs or any fats. You're not going to have any energy, and you're not going to get the vitamins, to sustain long life. And so this is another reason why sometimes just the carnivore diet by itself is bad. It's got good fats, but it's lacking a lot of those nutrients, especially lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin, vitamin C, electrolytes that we need to sustain life for a longer period of time. So we do need the fats. And there's some studies recently that have proven this, right?
Right. Just this year, the University of Missouri published in the Food Nutrition, they studied like eating just raw kale alone. It didn't absorb those carotenoids that we talk about all the time, especially for the eyes and the brain, the lutein and zeaxanthin, and that even just cooking it reduced that, what we call bioavailability, how you can absorb it. But what they did find is when they added that good quality oil, and it doesn't really matter if you add it before or after cooking, just the presence of that fat was critical. That's what helped you absorb those nutrients that we're talking about, the lutein, the zeaxanthin, getting that into your body so it's going to reach your brain and then be stored in your eye like we like it to protect your macula there. So yes, we want you to eat those green leafy vegetables. We want you to absorb them so you get that beneficial effect. So basically when you're doing or cooking and prepping your greens and your vegetables, you can add a little drizzle of some good quality olive oil to it. Put a little bit of olive oil and vinegar on your salad to make it a lot healthier so you can absorb those nutrients that you're getting in your diet.
And once again, we take all this into consideration when we're developing supplements. These are all science-based supplements. An example, our Fortifeye Focus, and Brain. We use olive oil as a delivery system inside that to make the carotenoids, the lutein, zeaxanthin isomers, and astaxanthin absorb better, help it cross the blood-retinal barrier and the blood-brain barrier, getting the benefits. So we try to do the science so you don't have to think about it. And we're going to open up the phone lines. If you got a question for Dr. Summerton or myself, Dr. Lange, you're listening to Ask the Doctor. We are live. This is, I think, the last week in March 2026. Give us a call at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Remember, this is a live call-in show. A lot of you will listen to tapes at different times, especially New Orleans, WRNO, and a lot of other channels out there. But I'm mentioning New Orleans because it's my home stomping ground. WRNO is a week behind us when they're listening, so just take that into consideration. They're 2 hours ahead of us listening as well. So today's date is March 28th. March 28th. If you're listening in New Orleans, you'll be 1 week behind. So 877-969-8600. No matter how simple or complicated your question is, as long as it's vision related or nutrition related, we will try to answer it to the best of our ability. A lot of you ask us a lot of other questions that we might not know the answer, but usually we'll do the research and get back with you. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Michael Lange _. So Dr. Michael Lange, Lange is Lange, Dr. Michael Lange _. It's got a blue check. We got about 300,000 followers now. That's the only legitimate Instagram. There's 100, 200 fake Dr. Michael Langes out there. So Dr. Michael Lange _. That's a good way you can follow me. Or Fortifeye Vitamins on Instagram. Or you can follow me on X, LinkedIn, YouTube. The YouTube is a great way to follow our tapes shows. I still call them tape shows, right? So you go to Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health channel or Ocular Health Dr. Michael Lange, and you can look at, videos from 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you can look and see which title you want to listen to or watch. So we try to save all these shows, and that'll be up on YouTube in probably 2 hours after the show, maybe 3 hours. So before we take the first call, I want to mention, as Dr. Summerton was talking about, these fats are good and how we incorporate all of this science into our supplements. The new Fortifeye Fit Meal, we actually are using medium chain triglycerides, and we're also using grass-fed whey protein concentrate. And purposely, we're using the concentrate instead of the isolate. A lot of people say, well, why didn't you use the isolate? Remember, the isolate removes the fat, okay? The fat is where all the immunoglobulins are, the covalent bonded cysteine to convert to glutathione, the lactoferrin. But more importantly, the fats, remember, these are good fats because they're grass-fed milk fats from whey protein concentrate. These fats are going to help the carotenoids absorb and help the fat-soluble vitamins absorb that are all in the Fortifeye Fit Meal. So there is a method to our madness. I mean, we really took a long time thinking this Fit Meal out, didn't we, Dr. Summerton? A lot of prototypes and a lot of samples.
We did, because we obviously want it to taste good so that you're going to be motivated to drink it. And we want to know that we're getting those quality nutrients in, and that you can feel comfortable if you're replacing a meal, that you're getting all those nutrients that you need, including the fiber. Fiber is pretty big again right now. It tends to be lacking in our diet. And I just read a study the other day. We talk about all those microplastics that we're getting. Everybody's getting them. We can't avoid them. And one of the ways we can naturally get rid of them is having that fiber in our diet. So just adding that into that, you're getting just an added benefit that maybe you don't know about. And it's just by adding a nice, good tasting shake and replacing your meal with it, where you're also cutting back on calories and what you normally have. And you're getting more chance for weight loss, but you're saying you're increasing the nutrient intake, so you're keeping your health, improving your health, and doing what you can in a simple way, because we know everybody's busy. To make a meal that has all those nutrients in would be very expensive, very time consuming. And this makes it simple for you with the way our lifestyles are today.
And I got to tell you, folks, it works. I'm proof. I can lose weight pretty quickly, but I went down to Miami, stayed at a wellness resort with Mackenzie and Tammy and hung out. And one reason was to hang out with family, of course, but the other reason, it was like my boot camp again. I got a delivery of both of these fit meals, chocolate and vanilla, and I started on Monday. So I had it for breakfast on Monday, lunch on Tuesday, supper on Wednesday. Thursday was breakfast again, and then Friday was lunch when we're driving back in the car back to the Tampa Bay area. And I got to tell you, I'm going to toot my horn. I lost 13 pounds in 5 days. 13 pounds in 5 days. Now, I ate really good foods, wild Alaskan salmon, grass-fed beef, lots of vegetables, only a little fruit. And I did exercise. I rode the bike down the boardwalk an hour every day, went to the gym for 30 minutes a day, sat out in the sun. So it does work. It helped me lose weight quicker, but healthily. And my knee feels better. I sleep better. That's 13 pounds in 5 days. So I am tooting my horn. If you want to lose weight, I urge you to try the Fortifeye Fit Meal. Now, you can't just take the Fit Meal and eat a lot more food and think it's going to work. You got to do the things we talk about. Your other 2 meals or 3 meals have to be a reasonable meal with lots of protein, lots of vegetables. Remember, you got to pound the protein because you don't want to lose muscle while you're losing weight. All right, we're going to the phones. Let's go to Linda in the Villages. Linda, good morning. Thanks for holding. Linda? Let's see.
Looks like she dropped.
Okay. Linda, you can call back. I am sorry I made you hold for a little bit too long. So call back, and I think Gary was holding too, but I lost him too. All right, phone lines are open, 877-969-8600. That is 877-969-8600. If you're looking at me on the TV right now, look, I don't have the double chin anymore. It's getting a little bit better. Dr. Summerton, I don't know about you, but I don't know. Men, especially me, I don't like having a triple chin.
Well, that is one of the things. When people lose weight, you do notice it in their face a lot. And we don't really think about that. But then that's when you hear of people on the peptides, they've lost so much weight, they lost too much that they lost a lot of that. They have that Ozempic face because they lost so much from their face. But it does make a difference in the way you actually look at yourself.
Now, how important is it to have the right source of protein when you're losing weight? The right source and the right amount?
Well, we need to make sure we're not cutting back on our protein. This is really hot topic in nutrition right now, because when we cut calories, there's a very, very high chance you're going to lose muscle because your body is going to reach for that energy storage. But one way we can avoid it, we don't want to lose muscle on a diet. We just want to lose that fat. So you have to prioritize that protein. Well, we're also trying to lose fat, so we're trying to cut calories. So then we have to think we need a low calorie protein so that we can still get low calories, but we're not going to starve the muscle of the amino acids that it needs. So that's why we look at these whey proteins, because you're going to absorb it and you're going to have low calorie and you're going to feed that muscle so that you don't experience what we talk about a lot, that sarcopenia of losing that muscle. And we can lose it with age. Well, we're losing it with age because we're not using it as much and we're not eating as much protein as we used to. So it's super important to get protein throughout the day, usually about 30 grams per meal. Depending on if you weigh a little more, you're going to need a little bit more, but you go on your target weight of what you're looking for. And you want to kind of spread it throughout the day. There is some studies that say you could have it more towards one meal, but there's also studies that say you should spread it out, and it probably a lot depends on your gut health. And then also working out, whether you should take it before you work out. There is some evidence, especially with women, that you do need that protein before you work out so that you have that in reserve for your muscle to use those amino acids. But we don't want to make it overcomplicated. You just have to remember you got to prioritize that protein with each meal. And if you're trying to lose weight, you want a lower calorie protein like this whey protein to make sure you're getting enough.
Right. Our Fortifeye Super Protein or our Fortifeye grass-fed whey protein isolate is giving you, 21 grams of protein with very low calories and no carbs. So that's important. Also, a good Greek yogurt, that has 20 grams of protein, some cottage cheese. You can always add one of these. Pretty simple way to get another 20 grams of protein. All right. I'm going to give you the phone lines for Fortifeye Vitamins, 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. And then the Lange Eye Institute, if you'd like to see Dr. Summerton or myself in the Villages, Florida, the Lange Eye Institute phone number is 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. And you can get all this information about all the websites and everything at my personal website. That's drmichaellange.com. Doctor is DR, drmichaellange.com. And we're getting ready to go back to the phones. Then we're going to talk about supplement facts versus nutrition facts. Let's go to Mark in Brantford. Mark, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Dr. Lang. Thanks for clarifying that there's an E at the end of L-A-N-G. I didn't know that. But I have a question. I've got a couple of phone numbers, like I have your 813-282-8283. If you might take some time in the future hours of your show to just clarify the phone numbers. But my main question was if you could clarify again how much protein in grams on a daily basis we should be eating. And I know you kind of go about 50% higher.
Right.
I just kind of want to clarify that because I'm pretty sure I'm coming in very below daily expectations. So I'll just let the call go now so you can answer.
Okay, great question. And that's like most of us that listen to this program, we're protein deficient. We're not eating enough protein. Now we're getting plenty of carbs, plenty of desserts. So protein is very important. And I would say for the average American, and I'll let Dr. Summerton chime in also, but I mean, at least 80% of your body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you need 80 grams of protein. If you weigh 200 pounds, you need 160 grams of protein. That's for the average American. But if you're really out there intensely working out, you're biking, you're playing golf, tennis, pickleball, you're in the gym pumping iron, and you want to build, you really want to make a difference, you need 1 gram per body weight of good quality protein. So I personally think 80% of your body weight for most people, but if you're really training, you try to get, a gram per body weight. Now, a gram per body weight of your ideal body weight. If you weigh 600 pounds and you should weigh 200 pounds, don't eat 600 grams of protein, all right? So I was 215 the other day. I would not try to get 215 grams of protein. My ideal body weight is 185. So I try to get 185. I'm usually around 160. That's still a lot of protein. Dr. Summerton, what do you think the evidence suggests?
Right, and I agree that. I get a lot of literature from Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. She is a real proponent of muscle health and healthy aging. And she breaks down a lot of the studies and exactly how you said. So for a pound of your body weight, a gram of protein, it's really 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Like you said, you need a little more if you're working out more. So if you want to, your ideal weight is, like you said, 185 pounds. You want to eat 185 grams of protein and then split that throughout your meals. So about 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal so that you're getting that breakdown and absorption in your gut. And that's going to help you maintain or build that lean muscle that you're trying to do and prevent that age-related muscle loss, that sarcopenia, and improve that metabolic health. Because muscle isn't just about the way you look. It's about you utilizing that glucose. It's about you maintaining balance and not falling down. It's about maintaining your independence to move around. So there's so much more to muscle than just lifting things and the way you look. And we've got to feed it with that protein throughout the day.
Yep. Let me give you the phone numbers again, like the gentleman caller just asked. So I'm going to give you a few different phone numbers. Fortifeye Vitamins first, and then Lange Eye Institute. So Fortifeye Vitamins, this goes to usually to our Ocala headquarters, and it is 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. You can always leave a message or just call back if somebody doesn't answer. I think we are there this Saturday until 3, but Mondays through Fridays. And then we have a Lange Nutrition Center in Ocala, right there on State Road 200, that has all the Fortifeye vitamins. We have the Fortifeye Nutrition Center here in Clearwater on McMullen Booth Road. Oftentimes I am there on Saturdays. This Saturday I won't be because I'm going on about a 50, 60-mile bike ride out in the sun to get my vitamin D and to burn extra calories. It's a quest when I wake up in the morning to be 2 pounds less than I am. And it's a quest. I mean, I'm addicted to it now. So 866-503-9746 for Fortifeye Vitamins. Now, that's fortifeye.com. So fortifeye.com, Fortifeye is the website. And when you go to the website and you look at all of our nutrients, our supplements, there's a science section that goes over the science and the studies why we put particular nutrients into a supplement. And the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, the phone number, I'll give it to you twice, is 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. Also on the Fortifeye website at the top of the page, you can link into a section that talks about the Lange Wellness and Longevity Plan, and you can read over that or print it, Lange Wellness and Longevity Plan. And it's also the top of the drmichaellange.com website. And also there's some blogs on both of those websites at the top, and those are some of the latest articles that we've written on, things that we're involved in, science that we're involved in, especially regarding nutrition. And then a great website for all of you to learn the truth about omega-3 is omega3healthbenefits.com. omega3healthbenefits.com. All right, phone lines are open. If you got a question, give us a call. We are live in the Salem Media Studios, broadcasting from beautiful Tampa Bay, and it is a beautiful day today. 877-969-8600. That is 877-979-8600. I will take the call very quickly for the next caller, I promise. 877-969-8600. Also, I want to talk about transparency really quickly. There's a lot of people out there buying meal replacements online. I mean, there's 150,000 different brands of meal replacements. But look at that meal replacement, see what's in it, compare to what's in Fortifeye Fit Meal. You will not see anything that comes close. I am bragging a little bit. It took me 2.5 years and our team to develop this. But the big thing that sets us apart, we're using supplement facts. All right. Nobody uses supplement facts. Hardly nobody uses supplement facts on their meal replacement. They use nutrition facts that only give protein, calories, carbohydrates, fats, and sugar. So we give all that. Plus, we tell you exactly what's in it. We tell you how much kale, how much, broccoli sprouts, how much pomegranate extract. We tell you exactly how much fiber and which type of fiber is in this. And that is very expensive because we have to have it third-party analyzed by another company to tell us it's exactly what we did. When you just have nutrition facts, you don't have to do that. It's simple. So look at, I'm not going to mention any names, the number one meal replacement out there everybody's taken. It just has a big thing. It says 6,000, grams or 6,000 milligrams, and it has everything but the kitchen sink in it. But it doesn't tell you how much of anything is in it. So they could put 1 microgram of everything, and then, the rest of it could be their cheapest product. So there is no transparency. They're not proud of the formula. We're proud of our formula, so we're telling you exactly what's in it. And they can't get their 6-time markup they want. We don't even have a 2-time markup on this. So try it. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. Fortifeye Fit Meal, the newest, latest in meal replacement technology on the market. It is available starting Monday at fortifeye.com. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Ocala. Dan, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, sir. Appreciate the show. And I have a few questions. Hopefully won't delay other callers. Basically, my understanding is the body's pH is healthier when it's more alkaline.
All right, so that's a good question. And, you need acidity in the gut to make things absorb, all right? And it's interesting, if you use lemon water, all right, that's more acid, but then it causes the body to become more alkaline. And there's a lot of science behind that. And people, there's sites out there dedicated to talking about alkalinity and healthier, less disease. And I got to tell you, God made a pretty good body. It really did. And so if you eat something that's way too acidic, your body is going to compensate and alkalize. By the same token, if you eat something that's way too alkaline, your body is going to secrete more acid. So as long as there's not a disease state. So God made a pretty good body. I would not be as concerned about the whole alkalinity issue, drinking alkalized water versus this water, eating an alkalized diet. I really wouldn't until I see some double-blind placebo-controlled studies. I'm talking double-blind placebo-controlled studies, not just a study with, 10 people in it that prove that. Now, I could sway either way based on that. But my whole idea is when you're eating lots of good, organically raised, preferably fruits and vegetables, this does have an alkalizing effect versus eating a lot of sugary foods, a lot of pop and soda, and the typical SAD diet, standard American diet. So truly, if you eat healthier, I think your body tends to go more alkaline, but I wouldn't put a lot of validity into drinking alkalized water versus non-alkalized water. I think those potentially could be gimmicks. Dr. Summerton, time for you to chime in. You might totally say something different.
It's like I haven't really seen the studies prove it, but the idea makes sense that you're going to have more of the alkaline forming foods in your diet, the fruits, the vegetables, legumes, and nuts, and less of the acid forming like processed foods and meat, which that's a good way to go. But really, when we look at what really happens in the body, your blood pH is pretty tightly controlled between 7.35 to 7.4 times at all times, no matter what you're eating. Your lungs and your kidneys, they regulate that pH of your body. So the food, it won't really have a meaningful change on that blood pH because, like we said, God made a pretty good body. It's going to keep that pH how it needs to be, right, despite what you're putting in your body. But it does make sense from that you want the healthier foods more in your diet, the alkaline foods, the fruits, the vegetables, and then you want less of the acid forming, the processed foods. Mostly meat is a little acid forming, but it's, we're not going to, we talked about that too, not only just eating meat, you need that balance of the fruits and the vegetables with it.
Right. The key is balance. I agree. All right, Dan, you got some more questions?
Yes, sir. Regarding protein, is there a difference in the acidity of, say, meat proteins versus your whey protein?
Wow, you're getting some tough questions there. I mean, animal-based proteins typically are a little more acidic than vegetable-based protein, okay? So that's true. I don't know the exact pH of whey versus chicken versus beef, versus pork versus fish. I think that red meat tends to be a little more acidic, but also red meat has a lot of nutrients that some of the other meats don't have. So remember, it's all about balance, Dan. That's why I don't say just eat fish every day like a pescatarian. Eat some grass-fed beef. And remember, it's important to determine if you're eating red meat, and same thing with whey protein, to make sure it's grass-fed. Because if it's not grass-fed, that means it's fed GMO, genetically modified pro-inflammatory omega-6. So it's creating inflammation. And so that's going to be more acidic and worse for you. We don't want this inflammatory cascade taking over our body. The same thing with whey protein. If you're going to get the typical whey protein you buy over the counter, when you read the label, all it says is whey protein. It doesn't say grass-fed, non-denatured, and where the cows come from. By the way, when you buy a whey protein, make sure it says that on the label, grass-fed, where the cows come from, and non-denatured. That means it's not been destroyed with heat and acid. Then that protein is not going to be quite as acidic as the other protein. The same thing with the beef. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about the acidity. I'd be more concerned about how these proteins, how they nourish themselves, how they eat, where they graze, if they're feedlot cows versus free-roaming grass-fed cows. You know, if they're fed pesticide grass, if they're fed non-pesticide grass, if they're fed antibiotics and growth hormone. So that's what I'd be more concerned about, okay?
All righty. Thank you, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
Dan.
ma'am.
Take care.
Thank you.
Did you know
And
the
that's-
answer? Did you know the answer about more acidity in beef versus whey?
Well, beef does have more than whey, but that's because whey has more of that calcium and potassium content, which is why if we're eating our steak, which I just happened to have last night for dinner that was delicious, that you want to pair it with the vegetables because those have the potassium in it. And again, what we always talk about is that balance of having the two together. You can have your 30 grams of steak protein, but you want to have your vegetables on the side with it to get that potassium in there with it.
Absolutely. All right, give us a call, 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. I'm Dr. Michael Lange. I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I'm also a certified nutritional specialist. Dr. Summerton is also the same, but she's also fellowship trained in 2 areas of nutrition as well. So she's taken it to the next level. One of a select group of doctors in the entire country that have that many initials after her name. So we're blessed to have her on our team and have her as my co-host. So if you got a question, remember, the consultation is free. Take advantage. This never replaces a medical evaluation or an eye examination. This is for educational purposes only. Give us a call at 877-969-8600. And if you go to the Fortifeye website, there's an Ask the Doctor section that actually comes directly to my email as well. And a lot of you do take advantage of that. And that's at fortifeye.com. Fortifeye.com. All right. So a lot of us that are listening to this program are overweight, and that's why we created the Fortifeye Fit Meal for you. A lot of you are on the go. A lot of you are busy entrepreneurs, businessmen, don't have time to eat well, so you're going through a lot of fast food restaurants. You don't have to anymore. Now we got Fortifeye Fit Meal. It's a scoop. Put it in water, shake it up, drink it down. Everything you need in that meal to help with longevity, to help with slowing down the proverbial aging process from a nutritional standpoint, helping to get to ideal body weight. And I want you to go to the website at fortifeye.com, go to the section with Fit Meal, read everything we have in there. Read it all right? Go to the science section, and you'll see why it makes sense. I mean, that's why it took 2.5 years to develop this. And actually, as for everything that's in it, you'd think it's going to be nasty and grainy, but it's actually very creamy. It shakes up, it dissolves very well, and it tastes very, very good. We don't have any stevia in this. We don't have any sucralose in it. We don't have any monk fruit in it. We don't have anything unnatural. We're using allulose as a natural sweetener. That's a rare sugar from Africa that actually acts as a GLP, sort of like a GLP-1 receptor agonist, because it curbs your appetite. Also, those of you with gout, it helps gout. And then we have a fermented form of a rice sugar that when it's fermented, it's much easier on your stomach, and it also gets rid of all the sugar. So it's essentially zero sugar and zero carbs, but it tastes really good. This is called riboside or Reb-M. And you look at, say, riboside, or however you pronounce that, Reb-A, that's stevia. Stevia does make a Reb-M that's also delicious, but we take it from the rice instead. So check it out on the website, and that's fortifeye.com. Go to Fortifeye Fit Meal. Also, in a few minutes, first we're going to take one more call, but in a few minutes, we're going to talk about how curcumin and turmeric we use that as an anti-inflammatory, and we developed something called Fortifeye Next Gen Curcumin, which uses curcumin, the only oleoresin food-grade curcumin on the market. But we're going to talk about some other uses for curcumin when it comes to muscles in just a minute. But let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Andy in Largo. Andy, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Mike and Dr. Susan Summerton. Just wanted to ask you a question. I had a slow prostrate, like it's a struggle to void and eliminate and all that. And at night, I instead of getting up multiple times, I keep a urinal by my bed because I have a background as a CNA, etc. And it's quite easy for me to not have to go to the bathroom, walk over the toilet and stuff. So the point I'm getting at is I can void, a good 60 ounces or more over the nighttime without getting out of bed. So I do get a good night's sleep, I feel. But my question is when I take my supplements, especially Fortifeye Macular Defense and some of the others like Omega, the color of my urine is a dark yellow, which I've always felt over the last 40 years of embracing wellness is that it's healthier, better to have dark, expensive urine than not take the right supplements. But I was just curious, do you recommend taking such regular supplements like my 3 a day of the Mac Defense and some of the others? Is it wise to take them at night, or is it better in the morning? I take my vitamin C in the morning because it's fat soluble, and I can take some omega with it and bread with butter and toast and whatnot.
Yeah, Andy, I would take them breakfast and lunch. I would stop taking your vitamins, especially since you're urinating a lot at night at supper time, all right? Because some of those can act as a diuretic sometimes. So take them all. Don't take them all at the same time. Take them at breakfast and lunch. Take it with food, especially food that has some fat, and you do better. And what I want you to do, and I've talked about this on the show many times, I want you to add broccoli sprouts to your diet. You can have broccoli, but broccoli sprouts. Most men don't even know what it is. And you can get it at Whole Foods, Fresh Market, even Publix. It comes in a little plastic container. They look kind of like bean sprouts. But broccoli sprouts are one of the best things in the world for men, for the prostate and for the testosterone. And then also, I want you to try this daily for 2-3 weeks. Get some tomato sauce or tomato paste, and heat it, all right, and put a tablespoon of olive oil in it. And then maybe put the the broccoli sprouts in with it and just, stir it up a little, and then have that as a soup, all right, every day. Maybe have it for supper every single day. And then you let us know if you're having less urination. Now, obviously, you need to see your urologist, and I'm not a urologist. I'm talking from a nutritional standpoint. But I notice I'm in early 60s now. And a lot of times when I notice I'm getting up every hour and a half to go to the bathroom, when I do this, and I do it for about a week to 10 days, and I'm golden. I get up once at night and I have a good night's sleep. So try the broccoli sprouts and try tomato sauce or tomato paste. On tomato sauce, you want a cup. Tomato paste, you want 2 tablespoons. And saute it in some olive oil, a tablespoon of olive oil, and put it all together and have that every day. And then check back with us in 2 to 3 weeks and let me know how you're doing.
As an avid listener, Dr. Mike, for a month or more, I've been swigging. I keep a jug. I go to the Publix and get BOGO on my tomato sauce. Good. And I'm an expert on the different jars. But the point is, I do swig a cup of tomato sauce a day. I haven't been doing the tomato paste, and I do have olive oil on my girlfriend Coco's linguine. We do have olive oil on a daily basis. And I have been subscribing to that, and I just want to thank you. It hasn't made a noticeable difference. I am on not Flomax. That beat me to heck.
Right.
I'm on tadalafil, 5 milligrams a day. But the point I want to also say, Doctor, is I know you got to run. Thank you for the BOGO on that super protein. We love all your products, and I'm going to hang up now. Thank you.
All right, Andy. Thanks for the positive feedback. All right, Dr. Summerton, I wanted to chime in since that was a male issue, but you could certainly chime in on it anytime you want.
It is normal. We forget to bring this up sometimes, but those B vitamins can contribute to that. yellow urine, especially B2 riboflavin. It's a naturally kind of neon yellow pigment. And because it's water soluble vitamin, not like the fat solubles we were just talking about, the D, E, K, and our carotenoids, the B vitamins are water soluble. So when you take those B vitamins, you are going to see your urine change to more of a yellow tint, and that's perfectly normal. And then you made of what I had for my lunch the other day, sourdough bread, gluten-free, with some cottage cheese and broccoli sprouts on top. It was delicious.
There you go. And also, if your urine is dark colored, you could be dehydrated as well. So those of you that aren't taking a lot of vitamins and it's that color, you need to drink more water. And most of us do need to drink more water. We really do. But you don't want to overly drink water because then you'll be deficient in the electrolytes. So you almost have to have a degree, a PhD in nutrition to really live these days. So I always recommend eating a banana or an avocado daily for the potassium and a handful of nuts and seeds for the magnesium. That way, at least you're getting potassium and magnesium, and then a little, pink Himalayan sea salt for the sodium chloride. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this curcumin. There's some new science out that really talks about, not only we've known it's been great for anti-inflammatory, for all of our arthritics and for dry eye, and for uveitis and iritis and things in the eye. We've used our next-gen curcumin made by Fortifeye for years and years now, and it's done quite well. But there's some relatively new science that talks about it for muscle recovery, isn't there? Yes, there is. And I think I might have lost Dr. Summerton. There we go. Isn't there? So we'll see if we get her back. Anyway, there is some new evidence that talks about curcumin and people that work out quite a bit and have muscle tears. Are you there, Susan? Nope. That have muscle tears. When you work out a lot, it actually breaks down your muscles. So Fortifeye Next-Gen Curcumin is very effective at helping reduce these little micro tears and help with inflammation and help you recover faster. So now all of you people that are working out a lot, consider adding a good curcumin to your diet or turmeric spice, although you have to take a lot of it. I would be careful with the ones that are using black pepper extract, biopreme, because some studies indicate now that might not be the best thing for your liver and the gastric juices in your stomach, the mucosal lining. So that's what's good about curcumin. Fortifeye Next-Gen Curcumin uses curcumin. It's an oleoresin, food-grade curcumin. It absorbs better than just about anything without using any synthetics and without using any black pepper. All right, Dr. Summerton is back. She had to go urinate, maybe.
I just lost sound for some reason, so I called right back in. He got me right back up. But I believe you're talking about the curcumin and the absorption, right. And I missed what you said. But basically, I think we were talking about it for after exercise, right, and lowering the inflammation in a natural way. We want to stay, some inflammation is good. And so if you take that curcumin, you're going to notice less pain after faster recovery, which is going to lead to the improved range of motion and just overall feeling better about you working out because you're not in pain.
Right. So think about that. Get a good curcumin supplement. Curcumin is what we recommend. Of course, Fortifeye has the Next-Gen Curcumin, which we use curcumin, and it's fortifeye.com. Also, there is some evidence out there, and there's a Texas attorney that is really into this and buys boatloads of this stuff. There's some studies that have come out using curcumin, believe it or not, in prostate studies. So hopefully Andy's still listening. You may want to consider adding curcumin was the one in the study. And so it either be curcumin or Next-Gen Curcumin from Fortifeye. So something to consider. We were going to talk about macular degeneration today, but we didn't have time. But we have learned that, not just a complete vegetable diet is good. Add some animal proteins. And all animal protein isn't good too. Add some vegetables. And that's why we developed Fortifeye Fit Meal, which is now available. Monday, it is delivered to our warehouse. So Monday, we will ship out. Hallelujah. It's been a long time coming. And you can Google Fortifeye Fit Meal. I've written about 6 articles on it, so it has been indexed in Google now. And remember, it's chocolate and vanilla. We like the flavor. Give it a try. See what you think. If you don't like it, then certainly we'll give you your money back. All right. Dr. Summerton, I don't know. We got about 49 seconds left, so you can, tell everybody goodbye.
Well, thank you, everyone, for listening and our callers today, and wishing everybody a happy Easter. That's right around the corner, too. Take some time, think about the healthy food you're eating, go for a nice walk after each meal, and enjoy some outdoor time or something you love today.
Absolutely. Thanks for co-hosting the show. As usual, it's been an honor. All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. Remember, if you're not happy with the eye care you're getting, get a second opinion or come to the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. Check out everything we have to offer at the website fortifeye.com. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, helping keep America fit and healthy. See ya.